I'm going to do a quick video on how to get an image like this where we have some numbers on the bottom here and we want to indicate that we've chosen every nth value. So in this case it's going to be um, the fourth value there. So we start at 1 and then we go 2, 3, 4, and then we choose 5. And so I've indicated that with a circle around the number. And so we got two things going on here. The first is we need to figure out how to get a circle around some of the numbers. And then the second thing is how do we get this arc image on top here. So to start with the circle around the numbers, we're going to come down here to any old cell. I'm going to choose right there. We'll come up here to Insert, come over here to Symbols, and we'll see here on the symbol pane we have the font is Segro UI Symbol, and the subset is enclosed alphanumerics. If you have trouble finding enclosed alphanumerics in here, because there are quite a lot of them, you can see we're at about just a little below the top here as far as the scroll is concerned. You can see as we scroll it changes the subset there. Or we can come into here and find it if we're able to find it pretty easily. You can see it is difficult to find it sometimes. Enclosed alphanumerics, there we go. So we have a bunch of different stuff here. We have one with a circle around it. We also have one with a half circle here. We have one with two circles down here. So in this situation though, the one circle is fine. So I'm going to double click the one there. And once I've double clicked it up here, I don't need to hit the insert, I can just close it. I'll come back up here and do the same thing for 5. Double click. So now I'm going to edit these to make them a little bigger and bolder. So I'm going to choose the 5 cell there, and I'm going to hold Control on the keyboard, and I'll choose the 1. Come up here to Home, I'll bold it, and I'm going to increase the font size to 22. And then the last thing I'll do is I'll align it to the center, both horizontally and vertically. For the next ones, the ones without the circles, I'll just enter 2, 3, 4 on the keyboards, and then I'll do similarly, center it horizontally and vertically, and then I'll put these I only can do these to 14. Okay, so there are the numbers. And so now the second part is getting the image up here. And so we're going to come up here to Insert, Shapes. We're going to come down here to Basic Shapes. I'm going to choose the arc. And now this is where it can get confusing because you would think, okay, well, let's draw an arc here. So let's start here. And you can see when you go to do it, you get this little odd looking thing. So what I'm going to recommend is you click there and then you come up and to the right till it gets to looking something like that. And then we release it there. And we'll see we have 2 yellow circles here. And so these yellow circles control where the arc begins and ends. So we're going to take this top yellow arc here and we're going to drag it over to the left, and that's going to create that arc. And then we can move it around by clicking on the little box here and controlling the size of it with the white circles. Now one thing you'll notice is that the white circle here is hidden behind this yellow circle. So we've got to move this up in order to sort of get this right and to play with it. So that looks pretty good right there. And so you can move it around, you can move it up a little bit, we can move the arc down a little bit if we want. So that looks good right there. So the next part is we're going to change the formatting on it. So I'm going to left click on this, and then I'll right click on it, and I'll choose Format Shape. And it should bring up the little Format Shape pane over here. And I'm going to choose Shape Options up here. See, we've got 2 options here. I'm going to choose Shape, and then I'll choose the little fill and line bucket right below it. We're probably going to have something that looks like this right here. I'm going to choose Line, and then to increase the width, I'll come down here to Width and crank this up to about 2 points there. That looks good. Then we'll change the color to black. All right, and so now I'll left click on this one. I'll hold Control and then choose Control C to copy, Control V to paste. You can also do it right click, copy, right click, paste. And I'll just put these one after another here to create that image. All right, and so you know, if I was doing this, I would make sure they're lined up, but that looks pretty good. So next part is we're gonna group these together. So we're gonna come over here to this first one, and then we'll hold down the control button, and we'll choose all of these images. And once they're all chosen, we'll right click on the key on the mouse, and we'll come up here to group and choose group. Okay, and so now what we'll have is when we click on this, we'll be able to move this image wherever we want. Now, those numbers are not going to be moving, and so, you know, you can manipulate the numbers though because they're inside of the cells here in the Excel file. So if that's good enough for you, then that's where you can leave it. However, if you do want to have the numbers move along with the arc, we'll have to do this next step here. And it's a bit convoluted because there's not really an easy way to put these into the group as far as I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this, save it to my computer, and then we'll have to take a screenshot of the screenshot to put it back into Excel. So I don't believe I have a video on this yet, but I do intend to put a video out as far as where to go to find the screen clippings folder for your Windows computer. I'm running Windows 10 currently, and so it's buried in your file system, but should have a video sometime showing how to get there, and I've done that, and I've pinned it here to my quick access. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to the Excel file, and I'm going to hold all of these at the same time, Shift, the Windows button, and then S. And I'm going to take a screenshot of this right here. Now, come over here, we'll see, whoops, hold on. That screenshot is now here, so I'm going to choose a screenshot I just took a picture of. It'll pop up here. And now over here in Excel, we'll come up here to Insert. We'll choose the Screenshot button. We'll choose Screen Clippings. It'll minimize the Excel file because with the Screenshot button, you can't take a picture of the Excel file. You have to take a picture of, you know, whatever you're trying to take a picture of outside of your Excel file. And then once you take that picture, it will move it into the Excel file. So we're going to take a picture of this screenshot here. And there we go. It puts it into the Excel file. You can see I've got a black line here at the bottom. So if I was doing this for real, I would be really careful to make sure that I get only white and nothing there at the bottom. But that's how you would do that. And so now you can see I can move this arc around and the numbers move with it. So if you know of a better way to get these numbers to attach to the arc, let me know below. Thanks for watching.